Hey everyone, welcome back. It's Lucid. I'm joined by a few people. We've got Grippa for life.
The least favorite co-host has joined again.
We've got Ballin Stalin.
I'm pretty sure that's me,
And we've
bro.
got Ravzia.
Yeah, I was gonna say my favorite is Grippa.
Ooh, sorry, I clicked off the screen
I'm
for a
here
second.
farming sympathy points.
No, I'm sorry, everybody else. It's just the honest truth.
Okay, so last episode, we basically had everybody decide to kill Caelum. Which it's kind of interesting because Caelum didn't really do much to deserve it. Like, they weren't exceptionally large or exceptionally strong or playing such an exceptionally strong nation. They should be 3 or 4v1.
When that blew up on Discord, I was like, Caelum? I expected this
Right.
on Joman. What the
Or
hell?
Lemuria or something, but not Caelum.
Yeah, I'm looking at a lot of the Caelum flags there on the right
Yeah.
side. It's not great.
So it's kind of interesting. It's something we ended up talking about in Discord a bit after this, but it's like the difference between like a dog pile and a coalition. Like in some, it's like some of it's just like word battles or like terminology, but in some ways, like a dog pile is just people jumping on somebody just to attack them, right? And in some ways, a coalition is like you kind of need to. Either because they're going to run away with the game or they're too big or what have you.
Yeah, like usually people coalition like a Lemuria,
Right.
and then they dogpile like somebody that they don't like.
Or somebody that's weak or something like that.
Usually somebody that's weak.
So, Caelum was none of these. And I think this was his first, maybe, multiplayer game. And he was like, I don't really want to play. And I talked him into, hey, like, maybe we find somebody who, like, has played a little bit more, and let's get them to, like, kind of coach you. And, like, you can maybe survive this. And he was like, okay. And so we end up getting this guy to, like, do a turn or like look over his shoulder, but really he effectively just subbed in this turn. And I think I ended up processing this turn because I couldn't even get the original player to like give me their password. So, yeah, and let me tell you guys, the situation for Caelum is dire. They have, I think, Conjuration 3, Construction 2, Enchantment 1. And let me just say, those are probably not the first. No, they don't have Conjuration 3. It's like Conjuration 2. Because, yeah, they couldn't do Summon Earth Power and stuff.
Yeah, Conjuration 3 is too useful.
They, there's nothing. Because it was like, okay, well, you could do like Conjure, like Summon Earth Power and then Strength of Giants or something, which is like very core early game, late age Caelum tech. And they can't do that. I mean, they really can't do much. So what ends up happening is we end up kind of having a guy, he's not like a super veteran or something, but he's played a fair amount of Dominions. And he's like, okay, well, this is like an impossible situation. We're getting attacked by Falegra. We're getting attacked by Satis. We're getting attacked by Patala. And our other neighbor is Lemuria. Like, and we have no research. And, like, look at this. Can you imagine? Like, this is totally, like, a last stand scenario.
I think my favorite part about it is the fact that he borders Lemuria, and, like, Lemuria's watching someone else get dogpiled on. It's like, all right.
I'm glad it's not
Yeah,
me.
all right.
Yeah, slowly making more and more careful.
So, the Drakon attacks over here. We'll look at some of these. He's got a Bracer of Protection.
Wait, is this a Crystal Amazon province?
I think so, yeah.
Oh my
It
god.
would be funny if you got mind burned or something. Oh, no.
This doesn't show up in the PD, I don't think.
No. But if this was an indie province, they sometimes spawn with a gem, where they power with the spears, then soul slay you. Made you just cry.
Really?
Yeah,
Yeah, that was the greatest game I've ever been a part of, even if Ball was on my team.
I usually see the mind burn. Do they? I think they have to roll a lucky random to get to. No,
They
I guess
do.
they could still do it. They could still do it.
It was not a good time to be me, but yeah.
So if you ever have an Astral 1 mage left, and you have like 2 pearls, now you know what to do with them.
Get that lucky soul slay off. Yeah, and that way, actually, with a decent pearl income, Astral 1s are pretty gnarly, because, you know, if you put like 3 pearls on them, that's like 2 soul slays per S1.
Yeah, and there's a lot of Astral 2 in the late age.
Mm-hmm.
Can easily power the spheres that up to Astral
Right.
3, throw in a Light of the Northern Stars, and start spamming Soul Slay with Astral 4. It's pretty nice.
So these guys land here, not even among the archers, but among these Iron Guard. And the Iron Guard are just
And heavy
infinitely superior
infantry.
to Caelumites.
Caelum infantry are just worse because of the size
Right.
3. Nerfs their attack density
Yeah.
too much.
I mean, Iron Guard also have really good stats.
Though Flagra got lucky here, because I'm assuming the birds weren't scripted, because if they were scripted on attack rear, they could have sniped his prophet.
They did. No, they did do
They
it.
did hit some stuff. Was his prophet
Oh, he got
there?
really, really lucky then. That was
Yeah.
his last
He lost
commander.
almost all of his commanders, actually.
Yeah, it was just these oppressor generals who survived. We'll watch it again. Wait, who was his prophet?
Oh, all the stuff in the middle died,
Sure.
right? Yeah. They might have been on attack rear, but the Iron Guard were the rearmost
Right.
squad, so they might have ended up targeting them. When did they land here?
They just murked
No,
all
it
the
looks like they
commanders.
targeted the
Yeah.
commanders. Yeah. And the only one who didn't move is his prophet standing all the way in the back.
Yep.
By himself. He would have been easily
Right.
surrounded and died, probably.
So, I mean, there's not much he could do here. He could try to, like, attack out and retreat, but honestly, there was no place to even retreat to. So, these guys were kind of boned. Here he gets attacked by Satis with some tomb chariots.
Oh no. Put the commanders in the middle.
Yeah, and they're lucky there, too.
Oh, this guy's... Oh,
Also, the birds landed at different times. If they had landed all together, it would have been
yeah. Those tomb chariots kill those
It
birds
took out
pretty
one of the
quickly.
commanders.
easy win, but I mean, they won anyway. It seems like it was a fail from Satis.
Yeah, 2 mages down,
Oof.
some tomb chariots.
2 mages. I will say, and this is something I've never seen anybody do before. The bravest last stand I've ever seen a Caelum do is it was a lazy scripting by the man, but it was like 11 of the Herib Seraphs, and they were mostly fire randoms. And they all used a gem to cast Phoenix power, and then it was just mass conflagration and sulfur haze against a bunch of late age mana crossbows.
Oh no.
There was 140 crossbowmen, and 80 of them died. And then
Sorry, I'm going to pause. I think I've got y'all's audio up too high.
Straight.
All right, so I think I got the audio fixed. Hopefully that wasn't horrible, but it probably was. Okay. So yeah, holds off this Satis force, but Satis rates here, and Caelum rides out. Now, this is, by the way, what you need to... Maybe not this precisely, but in general, if you're getting 3v1, you must take fights. You don't have to take every fight. You can choose to lose territory. But in general, the only positive outcome for you is if you take fights.
Yeah. My advice is usually stall as much as you can, and then focus on attacking one person with everything else.
So, against skelly spammers, I would say you want a bird right away and not have them on hold and attack.
Yeah, and he also has all of these, what are these, ice clad? I think. That are
They-
walking very slowly across the battlefield.
How do you script birds to walk?
Those are the Storm Guard, but there's also, well, you put them in I think it's a line on attack. And they walk instead of flying.
That's crazy.
Yes, that works for all flying units, who apparently also don't take bonus damage from lances, which I just learned.
I know. When Zan told me about that, I spent a couple hours testing it. And I was ready to die on that hill that they do. I would have been wrong again.
I think I do remember hearing something about that from Loggy a while ago, but I forgot about it, and it surprised
Ooh, a lot of
me.
these guys are going to make it off the field here. So Caelum's going to lose this
I'm
fight.
That would be-
Oh, wait, do they?
Pretty sure.
Yeah,
Sure
so look, here
this
come the
wins
ice clad walking slowly across the field. Finally decided to fly once they saw all of their friends run away.
All right, so Caelum like technically loses this, but a lot of these lizards are treated, and he killed the Great Sage. We didn't even see that.
Oh,
Oh my god!
I didn't even notice
the
he was
Great
there.
Sage
All right.
returns.
yeah, he rode out. He's in the middle, so he's at least in a good spot.
Well, he is at first, and then all the guys
He's got a
march
chest
forward.
wound.
What is he casting?
Word
What-
of skeleton.
See,
Word of skeletons, I think.
Oh,
I don't
what?
like it's a
His
very
max
strong
magic is-
caster, but Horde of Skeletons is maybe
Oh,
not worth
Oh,
playing
he
him
just
out.
gets loaded.
Yeah,
all right. I mean, I think this is really bad for Satis.
it is to an extent. The issue being that, of course, in a coalition or dogpile scenario, trading even is still okay for one of the members of the coalition because the net resource distribution is so bad for the defender, right?
Because look, Caelum's down to 5 provinces. All they need to do is sit on 3 forts, and he's done.
No, I mean, yeah, sure.
Now, it's still worse to be in the Satis position because you secure, you know, compared to your coalition mates or whatever, you're less likely to hold on to land at the end of the war. So you obviously don't want to take even fights. You want to take
Right.
good fights, basically, no matter what position you're in. But it's worse for Caelum, I would say, than it is for Satis.
Yeah, I mean, this just was I think this was isolated, maybe a worse trade for Satis. But yeah, I mean, in terms of like, will Caelum survive? This is another step to the grave.
Not great. Yeah, that's a lot of
Yeah.
Raven Guard to lose, by the way. 46, I think. Yeah, that was half of his loss.
Yeah, and I mean, honestly, this was sort of close to what you want to do. I think you're right. I think you just attack turn 1. Like, they got a lot of reanimation, like long dead on the
Yeah,
field.
the only thing that cares about walking in slowly is the singular mammoth, and I'm pretty sure that thing HP
Yeah.
routed before it even touched
But
anything.
I mean, the main thing here is they got pretty close to outnumbering these guys 2-1, which is really, I would say, like the starting point for how you want to take a fight as a bird. And if you do that,
Yeah.
like you want to jump in and attack right away if they're going to be summoning skeletons. Because by the time I think they jumped in, there were enough skeletons that the numbers were almost even. So,
Yeah,
Yeah.
and it also... The Ice Clad would have made a big difference because, you know, obviously we all know that in a numbers game, if you bring like 10 more, it can
Right.
snowball
Right.
pretty fast.
okay.
But Satis is probably not too worried because he knows Phlegra's fighting Caelum with him, and he might know that Abysia is fighting Lemuria.
I wouldn't say
So-
he's probably not worried, but he's probably not happy. He just lost his god
Yeah, that's
and all
true.
those mages.
Although I've noticed a suspicious lack of Sauromancers thus far.
Yeah.
lot of
I mean, to get the god back, it's going to be a
you-
huge pain in the ass because you have to.
At least he has a bunch
Like,
of
Sarmancers are a holy one. You really don't want these guys calling your god back. Like, it's probably worth it to make like
That's true,
one of
but-
your priests. And he probably didn't have a bunch of lizard
Yeah.
kings or Hierodules running around either. So
That's true. But of course, Reborn are holy 0.
Right.
So.
So Bandarlog's attacking. I'm wondering if Bandarlog goes for this fort. I'm not sure. Or Patala.
It would depend on their communication, right? If they're all talking to each other, they should know exactly where all of Caleb's stuff is. And then
I'm
Patala
worried how
might feel
much,
comfortable attacking.
How much HP that Drakon has now, since it's... Oh.
It's
or
a
no
neutral
handle
dominion,
now.
apparently.
How the fuck is it a neutral dominion?
They don't get the Dom push from Macone anymore, do they?
We can check.
No, I think it's just a Macone thing.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's just
Dominion increases unrest, yeah.
Yeah, it's just
okay.
a Macone thing.
Well,
So
it's
how the
probably
fuck is
just he gets 3 checks for free in the province he's in, right? I guess.
Yeah, I don't know. Hard to say. I mean, Caelum does have 2 temples here, but
You would expect
Lemuria's...
that of all of his neighbors, he would be pushing Dom. Well, I guess everybody took it
Right.
awake that borders him, which is weird to think
Yeah,
about.
and like Lemuria's got a fort right near him with a temple, so that kind of sucks out a bit of dominion in the region.
Micklin doesn't have that many, I'm sorry, I said Micklin. Flegra doesn't have that many temples, it doesn't look like, near him or anything. So I don't know. That's kind of interesting.
Okay. So we've looked at all the people fighting Caelum. Let's come over here and finish this column. We've got Ulm. Oh no, Bogarus.
That's
Sorry.
Bogarus. Yeah.
He kills these Ronin Indies who attacked him. I don't think we can ever skip any of these guard commander fights.
No, we have to watch them.
Oh my god. Is he going to buff the Ronin this time?
You know what's funny? Usually the Ronin are Indies that attack you. I have only ever had this happen in one test game, but it happened like 4 times where I was playing a German test game. Obviously, I have like a billion of them. And only in one test game, I got like 4 random events that gave me like 20 Ronin each.
Oh, nice. That's pretty cool.
For free. And I've never seen it in an actual multiplayer game or in any other test game.
Yeah, I've not heard of that.
If they just had the tiniest bit of armor, they would be amazing.
Are you kidding me? Look, 8 gold. Imagine if you could.
They literally do have the tiniest bit of armor. It's 5.
Okay, listen, they're missing the most important part: a hat.
You don't need a hat, man. Look, they got a katana. They'll just, I don't know, cut the arrows out of the air.
And oh man, Bogarus is a big pile of
That's a dumb
dudes.
6
It looks
feature,
like
we're not quite there
Bandarlogs
yet.
or Patala's gonna get backstabbed. That's what it looks like to me. Because they march their army off
That
over
would
here,
certainly- yeah.
and then they get stabbed in the back by Bogarus. That would be funny as hell.
I'm surprised that Arco hasn't attacked them yet. Look at that big pile on the
They
farmland.
look
I
like
think
they
they're going for the
might
throne.
do that too. Yeah, I mean maybe they hit the throne and then come out. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know what the Arco players think. Do they have another fort yet?
I mean, they
I'm
look
looking.
like they're moving everything north, right? Like they've got stuff here,
Where-
they've got stuff
they
here, they've
don't
got
have-
stuff here, they've got stuff here. They might go for this throne, but
Oh,
my
they're
God,
finally making a second fort.
Yeah.
Good job. They don't have one yet.
a fort's under construction
They're making one
here.
there.
Yeah, I don't know why they didn't.
Make
They
sure
put
you put
40
gem sites.
40 PD on that farm province, and they haven't put a fort there yet. Not the one by Micklin,
By Micklin. Oh yeah, this one.
the big one.
Yeah,
Oh god.
that's a lot.
Hmm. They have been site searching very well though.
So
Or at least
I know.
south
oh
of
yeah,
the
we'll
cap.
take a look at score graphs maybe at the end of this one. So let's come over here and take a look at Joman and Micklin. So we got a message from Micklin this turn.
So they're at war, huh?
I'm not long for this game. Told my neighbors
Sword
to
sweet
vulture
to
me,
the
so that's
point.
why Joman just attacked them. I will also death basket someone. Which, by the way, guys, you know, you can... It's not, like, illegal or something, but probably better to use your death gems to fight. Or use your... Not death gems. Use your death basket, use your gems to actually fight. So if you can't use your gems to fight, then you probably didn't research much. Or, like, the right thing.
And Micklin only has one
Right.
fort, and so he hasn't been
Yeah, I
researching
mean,
much.
he's out of the game, so... oh well, I just can't see how to handle those Black Templars. I can harry the casters, but it's not enough.
Also, we are not rigging things, so making fun of us doesn't actually change the results. I just wanted to point that out
Right.
before anybody else got ideas.
So yeah, these Black Templar are pretty nasty.
By the way-
which,
Yeah, these are the best Black Templars I've ever seen in the longest time.
well, I mean, it's just attack 2 and blood surge.
I mean, I saw some Chillor Awe Black Templars.
I do
the
think
other day.
attack is especially good on Cav, just because you get that hoof. The bonus attack on the hoof is nice.
I still love how the attack affects the
Yeah.
hoof. Like,
Yeah, I mean, the horse and
gets
the rider
better at
are
kicking.
one. Have you ever seen a horse without a rider? Think about that, Griffin.
No, but I've seen griffins without a rider.
Yeah, but I mean, those are sacred animals.
I now know what to do with my next mod nation.
Nobody's ever dismounted a horse in Dominions. Think about that.
God, imagine a unit that can dismount so there's 2 of them. The horse and the rider independently fight.
It would be interesting.
He just
That's a
gets
lot of
iron
Jaguar
guard.
warriors.
This is
still.
almost critical mass.
Oh, he gets him.
You know, it's funny that did the imps I guess it's probably imps do not have
Right.
cold vulnerability, but I think devils do.
No, they do.
Yes.
No, they do.
Yeah, not exactly
Yeah.
a great
All
combo.
of
Not
the
great.
stuff from hell has cold vulnerability.
It's not a great combo.
I think it's kind of crazy how long these knights can just sit there in front of all these damn jaguars.
Well, did he
Well,
take
he
the strength
put
on the jaguars?
Strength 2, right? I think maybe blood
No, I don't
surge.
think what is it? It's strength 2.
Yeah, he did
Yeah,
take.
strength
Kill our
2.
attack 2.
No blood surge. Yeah.
Yeah,
I
so
think
they're not doing
I think
much
the thing
damage.
is like
past the
Chillar
proc.
is not super effective in warm temperatures.
Yeah.
So like these guys, okay,
Like,
he's
look at
finally
those
got
guys.
this guy's
They-
fatigued out.
Yeah, but they also have encumbrance. What, 10 is probably
Yeah.
more, because he had a affliction. Like, they have some encumbrance, too, and they've been fighting for
They
a
do
while.
have invulnerability. I think this
Yeah.
could have worked,
There's
dude.
also a solar weapon.
This
You
honestly
honestly,
is a
solar
threshold
weapons,
thing, man. It's like
solar weapons is 3 AP. They only have 7 prot normally. They're basically rolling 3 versus 4.
okay, yeah,
Right.
and that's going to
3
apply on the
versus
hooves.
3.
Yeah, let's take a look at one of these guys who died and see what happened to him.
Lots of bad things. Oh, it's gonna bug out because of the fatigue rolls.
Oh, fatigue damage. Morning Star.
He got shot by a
Where do we see the
crossbow.
solar weapons bullshit? Morning Star.
Damage roll at the bottom is solar weapons. 3+8 versus prot roll of 3+4.
Okay, so that
for
did
4
4
points of
damage.
fire damage. Yeah. This is a scenario where solar weapons is actually pretty useful.
Yeah,
Yeah, he gets hit by fire damage
because
again.
it's magic too, right? So it's
And
not
then
going
it
against invulnerability.
Yes.
Just ignores it.
But that was the crossbow that
Right,
killed
and
him.
then
Also, they have 10 MR versus decay, which is also not great.
yeah, I don't think a lot of them are dying to decay, but I think
So
honestly the biggest thing here is like you need a critical mass, and like in some ways you're like, shouldn't I have a critical
there
mass? I have
were
20 Jags versus 6 Black Templar,
6, yeah.
but I guess the answer is that's not a critical enough mass.
I mean,
That's such a feels bad.
I think another 2 strength is enough to go from we're doing chip damage to we're reliably hurting them with our 2-handed weapon.
I mean, Blood Bond is incarnate, right? So he took an Awake God. I think I think if you
Yeah,
go
it's a
Blood
great
Bond, you just
stage.
have to go Fortitude, because it's like those lance charges fuck you up so much. Because like a lot of times lance charges,
Yeah, they hit through.
to like hit a limb or whatever, and the damage gets capped or gets capped at your HP. This, like the lance
for
charge,
half
just
of it's
fucking
being spread.
like obliterates your squad. It's so intense.
6. You don't want to take 6 lances to the
Mhm.
face with 7 normal prot and blood bond. It's a good thing they don't have magic weapons, or that would be even worse of a fight,
Yeah.
right?
The fact that Joman still hasn't tried to take that siege roll province is bugging me.
I
one?
think
Oh, this one, yeah.
there's normally a Sea King
Yeah.
on there. Yeah.
There is, but he's going to by this time have like 30 water gems on him.
Yeah, it's pretty tough to take, honestly.
Yeah.
Bugging me is more so the fact that there's only 1 underwater fort at the moment.
He
But
just
that
needs
one-
some arrows.
Oh, he sight searching with Ryujin.
Yeah, I think he's putting a fort in the other pond, just because there's a monk there. So usually,
Yeah, it hasn't started yet.
I wouldn't see one there unless you're putting a temple or
Yeah,
something.
he hadn't
else.
started it yet. Okay, I don't know what's going on here,
Honestly,
but
he said that Joman could, or his neighbors
Yeah,
could
yeah.
vulture. So I would expect Agartha is posturing.
yeah, they're about to attack here too.
come in. Joman's probably going to snag a couple more provinces. So honestly, it's kind of awkward how we felt that Agartha and Micklin might fight Joman a while ago just because of the expansion phase. And now it's like Micklin's just saying, come on in.
Right.
I don't like Ulm. You can come eat my provinces before
Right.
I die.
That's a very good province that Joman's going to get right next to the right of the.
Yes, that's a lot of gems. Well, the Wall of Pestilence is,
Right.
whatever.
But death magic's the best magic.
Debatably.
Okay.
German can at least use
Yeah.
it, so.
All right, let's see what we got going on with German. Anything else? Agartha? No.
Somebody pinged the throne. I don't know who that was. Yeah, okay. That doesn't surprise me. They claimed the throne, it sounds like.
Who did?
If we go back to the messages.
Yeah, somebody did.
Throne of Life.
Yeah, I think that's
Throne of Strength.
Throne of Life.
German.
That's
right?
German.
What is that?
More growth scales.
southwest of Micklin's capital.
Yeah, the one
Right next
by
to the small
American-
Okay.
And I don't think they had growth one. Or if they did,
Agartha's
they
got
only had
so
growth
many
one. So
troops,
that's
man. Look,
pretty
he's
decent.
rolling these big armies out. He's still got like 200 troops in his cap. And then 60 troops here.
Grippa, are you playing as late age Agartha in this game? You can tell.
I was Micklin.
You know what's bothering me is he's got 3 palisades up now, but none of them have
Oh,
labs.
yeah.
So labs on Agartha are basically useless because every single mage, well, except one,
Oh,
is
God.
sacred. So you need the temple too.
Wait, why are
No,
there
2 of
unforted
the
temples?
stronger
What's going
mages-
on here?
The death
Oh,
to the necromancer or reanimator, sorry, the death 2 is non-sacred, and the alchemist, which is your elemental mage, is also non-sacred.
Rauzia, why are
Yeah, I
there
like the
unforted
alchemist.
temples? What is he doing?
He's
I
got
don't know.
so many unforted. He doesn't have any temples in his forts. I don't know.
Yeah,
Sir.
I mean, I don't know. He's trying to dom kill all of his neighbors, who coincidentally all took awake pretenders.
Wait,
Because
wait.
everybody took awake pretenders this game.
Is that an unforted lab from Micklin? What is he making out of the swamp province?
He might have found it, or he's making shamans. Yeah, he's making shamans. Maybe he would need
Yeah,
a
you
temple,
got a temple
right?
too.
Yeah.
Maybe it's Jade
Yeah.
province.
This is bizarre. And I think, just to repeat from a couple episodes ago,
These are new
you've got to,
players.
like, when
yeah.
you make this many troops, you need to use them. So it's a good thing he's getting the opportunity to vulture Micklin, but he needs to be thinking about his first war.
At least a lot of them are
Yeah.
summoned, which are not don't cost
Yeah.
upkeep.
Okay, coming over to Abysia, they have attacked Indies here. There's some Firelords. We get to see the Bronze Colossus. I believe this is President Gerald Ford.
With a pike with a 10 attack skill. My god.
How the hell did this man get
Mist
elected?
form, Earth Meld. More Earth Meld. Doesn't matter, you have shit attack when they're all tangled up in Earth.
Yeah.
Oh
They
no,
can't
they're
hit
doing.
you if they can't move their feet.
He's got What's that spell? The charged body on him too.
What does he?
No, it doesn't.
No, that's mist form.
Yeah, it's
I'm
mist
blind. I'm blind. Ignore me.
Ooh.
Oh, he's got Fist of
Flying
Iron.
Shards.
That's a good one. Yeah, everybody loves it when a statue starts punching people to death.
Yeah, it's doing a lot
Wait,
of
they
Fist of
popped
Iron.
his mist
I mean,
form?
this is...
Holy shit! They popped the mist form.
Enough hits. There's like a 1% chance to pop it with the normal hit. Now they changed it at some point. See, if that guy had death magic, he could do soul vortex, but he has no way to heal in combat otherwise, right?
Leeching Touch eventually.
No,
Okay.
but he's also like Astral One. Like that's got to be worth magic dueling him, right?
He's mindless. He can't be.
Oh
Haven't
shit,
you
that's
made that
right.
mistake before, Ballin?
Yeah,
I swear to
exactly.
God.
I'm pretty sure every single time this comes up, Ballin says the same thing.
Listen, I once claimed that you
guys.
could kill him with
This is
sharp
probably
warriors, and
one
I
of the
stand
coolest
by
fights
that.
we've got.
You can kill him with
I got
short
your
swords.
popcorn.
You just gotta go.
Oh,
Grippa,
here
who
we
do you think's
go.
going to win this? We've got Abysia with a bunch of
Why the hell
mages
did you
that
call
have some
me-
fire gems, some dudes here, and some small crossbows. And on this side, we have a big pile of ghosts and a centurion, or a consul. Ooh, spicy.
I'm gonna go with hoping Abysia has some kind of fire elementals. I'm gonna go with Abysia because he's got the 2 gems on this guy's.
I'm gonna
Ballin?
agree.
I say Abysia maybe loses 10 troops
Okay,
total.
let's see what happens here.
I can't wait for him to do something completely different than elementals.
Unholy Blessing.
I mean, fire.
Lesser
Fire-
fire.
Sea
Elemental.
Phoenix
Fire Cloud
firing
would
for lesser
also-
ones.
What is his bless, by the way? Have we actually
How
seen
did
that
he,
yet?
who did he set on fire?
Oh, Undead
Oh.
Regen Recoup, Pin bonus, and MR
And-
+1. I actually like this bless a lot.
You know what it doesn't help with? Fire
That's
elementals.
true. But you can make gear for that.
You can't.
Oh, they're all priest mages. That's
So there's a
right.
bunch of small fire elementals,
Holy-
and then we're getting a lot of banishment coming down.
Small fire elementals are underrated. They do decent
Yeah.
damage, though, right? Especially in heat.
It's an
They-
AoE.
I mean,
yeah,
16 AP.
that's a lot of damage.
That's
President
pretty
Richard
good.
Nixon's going ham.
Yeah, I think President
Does he
Nixon's
have-
going to be pretty happy with this.
I don't think that. Yeah. Okay.
Never healing wound. That's a bit rough.
Never healing wounds.
Okay, so Abysia asserting himself here. As Ballin said, they did lose less than 10 units. So,
And one of those was to Hedora,
Right.
probably.
Oh yeah, 100%.
so yeah, this is, like Lemuria is really strong, guys, but against shit that kills ghosts, if you're not really ready for it, it's pretty rough.
Yeah, you got to not take those fights.
Holy shit, that was 5 mages. That's the most mages I think we've seen in one battle.
Except for Bogarus expansions.
I think the Caelum fight had. Maybe not.
We have another attack from Abysia here.
No, it's a Lemuria attacking
yeah,
them,
how about that?
actually. And they brought more mages.
Wait, did they bring Crassus again?
4 more mages. Those are... Okay, no, those are not the Caelum.
I mean, this is good.
Lemuria has a mage in this. What?
In some ways, this might be an overcommitment from Abysia, but
Yeah, he is losing a lot of fire gems doing
But
that.
you know,
But-
it's so much better to not underestimate Lemuria. I'm not going to knock anybody a lot of points for overcommitting a bit.
The only issue is, right, how many turns of free spawn is this for Lemuria to lose versus how many turns of fire gems is it for Abysia to lose? Right? We can't say that it'll be a 1v1 all the time, but 100 ghosts is a lot.
I mean, he lost 120.
120. And
130.
those are all the higher quality ones.
Yeah, I
too.
think he's, in terms of like the actual troops, I bet you Lemuria is only at like 40 a turn, maybe.
Yeah, we might be able to check the army graph.
Yeah, I mean,
for a
we
bit,
can, yeah,
right?
that's actually the best way to do it.
Yeah, not a great turn for Lemuria.
Oh no, that's a big drop.
So he lost. He basically lost 2 turns of
He'll
production.
probably
It's 2
yeah,
turns, right?
Yeah, next turn he'll be recovered. Yep.
So
But I mean, I don't. If the Bronze Colossus doesn't really have anything to clear large amounts of ghosts, unfortunately. Otherwise, I would think you could just walk that forward with like a fire shield turned on. and
yeah,
just-
I mean, Abysia can make a charcoal
destroy
shield,
everything.
which would be amazing. But yeah, otherwise you're right. He doesn't really have. Now he could. Okay, he can do shockwave. So
yeah, you can off script it.
yeah.
There's still a couple indie provinces around Lemuria, actually.
All right.
Not even
Yeah.
underwater.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I'm surprised he hasn't gone for the lake yet. It's just Ichthyids.
Right, and Lemuria does
Yeah.
really well underwater because they don't care about poison.
Are those-
They don't do well against heavily armored things, and guess what? Usually don't have a lot of armor. Shit underwater.
They also have full amphibious instead of the
Yeah.
partial.
So yeah, they're really good at taking underwater. In many ways, they're more at home underwater than they are on land, except they can't build forts there.
Which is funny because their floating doesn't actually let them cross rivers, but being full amphibious.
I don't know if we saw this. This was where Phalegra attacked Caelum.
Yeah, killed some PD. Otherwise, it's looking pretty good.
Assassin expansion. I guess that's the last of it.
Right. Good on Abysia to sometimes for newer players. I think they can get distracted if they're in an early war and stop picking up free provinces like that. So good on them to keep expanding until they can't anymore.
Yeah, I mean I think I'd have to think how I would do it as Abysia. I think ideally you have like fires in a jar, and you have like 10 mages with those, and maybe
and then that's long term. It's much
right,
more
and then you
right?
just take a big army that he can't deal with, march on top of that capital.
When are fires in a jar? Is that 2 or 4?
I thought they were 2.
They're 4.
I think pearls are 2. The burning pearls.
Pearls are 2.
Are 4 with the water lenses are also 4.
Yeah, they're going to be eating Micklin, Lemuria. We've covered. I think we've covered everybody. So, who do we think is going to be first out of the game? Do we think it's going to be Micklin? Do we think it's going to be Caelum? Do we think maybe Lemuria or something like that? What are y'all feeling?
Maybe Micklin, because Caelum so far as we're aware is still like going for survival, whereas Micklin has told its neighbors that they don't think they can live, and they're inviting them.
And they don't have an army near their capital with a big force next to it.
It'll also depend on if there's a fight on any of Caelum's forts, but to be fair, Caelum also has higher level forts, so they're less likely to be cracked quickly.
Yeah, I say Micklin dies. Another one of Balin's famous hot takes, 4 turns from now.
Excellent. Let's take a look at graphs before we close
Probably
this out.
Probably going to be Joman.
We've got...
Although the graphs certainly do look bad for Caelum.
Yeah.
Can you pull up the Dominion graph for Micklin? I have a...
Well, they cannot blood sacrifice if their capital's under siege.
Okay.
Although the god is awake. Right?
Yeah, but so is everyone else's. That means nothing.
Not Olm's. Although
everyone's great sage expander's still going, except
the Joman god has just been chilling in that area. I guess they found some sites.
Shit.
That tells me like no one's doing real site search.
What in the hell?
Well, you can site search very wide with Joman.
Oh, I think he's got a couple of sites 2 south of his capital.
You got the Throne of Life, that's +3.
3, and he probably found
that this turn.
He found the Earth Blood.
That was probably a couple turns ago with the Earth Snake.
The one right 2 south of his cap.
And the one just right of his cap is pretty good too. That's 3. Or no, only 2. He found probably the Cave of the Pale Ones was his turn. Master Shigenja's turn.
I'm not sure, but damn. All right. He's back that was the only graph he wasn't really number 1 in. He's back up to position 1.
What does research look like, actually? I bet Bogarus is...
Satis leading the charge.
God.
Bogarus number 2, even though he's using all these mages. I mean, that's wild, actually, that you can use that many mages this early in the game and still be number 1 in research.
Well, they do have some of the most efficient researchers.
I mean, Grippa, shame on us for being so bad at researching in our Bogarus game.
Oh my god.
I'm surprised Satis is doing that well, to be honest.
Is that Agartha at the bottom?
I think that's Lemuria.
That's Lemuria.
Next to Lemuria.
But
Lemuria is pretty Lemuria. Is that Agartha otherwise?
They've been using their mage turns to summon, and they haven't put up any extra labs.
Yeah, it's kind of what Rob was saying about them not having like labbed in templed forts. So,
and they didn't take an awake, so they don't have an awake researcher. Like apparently half of the entire lobby had. You know, Patala, Bogarus, probably Arco, freaking Micklin, everybody.
All right, guys. Well, I think we're about done. Final thoughts?
Be interested to see. There's still a few nations that haven't done too much yet. I'd be interested to see how things go once they get involved as well. And obviously, Caelum's going to have a few rough turns until they see if they can hold off the coalition or they
Yeah,
die.
I feel like that's probably the next thing is Patala getting backstabbed by Arco and Bogarus.
Yeah, maybe Patala will be the first
Yeah.
to go out. Who knows?
I mean, this army could probably go on top of their cap reasonably soon.
They only have 2
Right.
ports. So.
I'm surprised that Joman hasn't smacked anyone yet. It's just they're just sitting there at
That's
the top of
true.
all the
They're
crap.
sitting there. They're
I mean, they're
developing.
loving
They're
it.
menacingly.
They couldn't be happier.
They're doing good, but you can't be too complacent. I would be looking at Bogarus, not knowing their research.
Did you look at the province graphs for this? Like, is Joman still that far ahead of everybody else?
They're ahead, but they're not as far ahead. But they've been maintaining the same lead basically the entire time, which is funny because you would have thought they would have run out of places to expand, and yet.
Yeah.
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 Because, like,
Yeah, they're not like so far ahead
provinces.
you have to do something about it, but they are pretty far ahead still.
Yeah, there's like a clear margin between the other 4 or
Right.
5 nations. Like Arco, Abysia, Flagrosatis are all kind of at the same level there. And then German's like 3 or 4 above them, it looks like.
All right, well, with that said, thank you all for joining us, and we'll see you next time.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.